5 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Jason.
Sarah Sarda,
Here.
Terry Crandall,
Here.
Kathy Greenaway,
Here.
Franny Kiefer,
Here.
Jill Sternquist.
Here. We have a quorum. Next item is approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda before us.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Jason.
Greenaway,
Yes.
Crandall,
Yes.
Kiefer,
Yes.
Sarda,
Yes.
Sternquist.
Yes. Next, I have approval of minutes from the November 8th regular school board meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the November 8th, 2001 regular school board meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Jason.
Sarda,
Yes.
Kiefer,
Yes.
Crandall,
Yes.
Greenaway,
Yes.
Sternquist.
Yes. Next, I have any direct or indirect conflicts anyone would like to disclose. Next item is the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda before us.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do you have any discussion? Roll call, Jason.
Greenaway,
Yes.
Crandall,
Yes.
Sarda,
Yes.
Kiefer,
Yes.
Sternquist.
Yes. Next, we have public comment. Jason, do we have anyone sign up for public comment?
No, we did not.
Next, we have good news and student achievement, Mr. Duracek and Mr. Davison.
Good evening. A couple things that I want to highlight is last Tuesday, December 7th, in the Preston Dakotan, we had our issue of the Waxcapay right back here. You know, I just want to highlight the articles and the layout of our students and our advisors for putting that together. Just want to go through. Our editor is Chloe Denny. And then our advisors, Mrs. Michelson, Mr. Brandner, and then staff within that that helped put this together. Olivia Hunoff, Cora Johnson, Franny Curry, Serenity Eaglebowl, Aiden Brennan, Grace Eastman, Colin Evans, Chloe Hatch, Aurora Huntley, Connor Larson, Elizabeth Neeson, Madeline Pyre, Jillian Schulte, Kayla Summer, Reed Brown, Julia Peterson, Alexis Peterson, Janice Smith, Renee Stellick, Jessica Wagner, and Danica Winkler. You know, from artists to the journalism that takes place for our students, you know, it's very neat to see, and I just wanted to highlight that in front of our board, and thanks for the partnership with the P&D and for being able to put that out and doing a great job with that. Second thing I want to just highlight, this week we'll have our student body president election. We have 4 juniors that are running for our student body president. Those are Olivia Hunoff, Addison Solachik, Thea Chance, and Nate Schoenfelder. Our student body will be voting on that this week, and we'll have a student body president for the second semester and the first semester for the next year. So we're looking forward to that, and that's what's happening at YHS. Thank you.
Good evening. Couple cool things going on right now at YMS is our 12 Days of Christmas and a dance coming up this Friday. Mr. Yeomans and Brady Schragi are here to talk about the chain reaction challenge that Mr. Yeomans came up with and had the community vote on, and they made videos and it was viewed for the public to vote. So Mr. Yeomans, I will have you come talk about that.
Good evening. I am not the good news, I assure you of that. It's not me, which makes it a little better. My name is Luke Yeomans. I'm one of our career and technical education instructors at the middle school along with Todd Carr this year. And our 7th and 8th grade robotics classes just recently finished up one of our semester projects that was titled our Chain Reaction Sequence Challenge, which is something we've done for a number of years The challenge was tasked for groups to create a multi-step chain reaction sequence that uses some of our automated robotics equipment, and then we jazz it up by adding a number of mechanical devices that are operated by simply scientific principles of motion. The challenge for groups was to utilize the engineering process, planning, designing, prototyping, testing, modifying, and a lot of modifying until they made things work within their designs. The challenge for me every year in these classes is to try to highlight the things we're doing in our classroom so that our parents and community members can see the creative work our students are doing. So this year we attempted to provide parents and community members with a glimpse of some of our classroom work by filming, posting our online videos, and letting them be viewed online and ultimately voted on by parents and anyone from the community using an online voting form that coincided with the videos. Tonight, we wanted to recognize our winning group that created and also received the most votes for our viewer videos from our chain reaction sequence. The winning group members were comprised of Brody Schrage, Tegan LaCroix, and Brett Snoozy. Unfortunately, Brett and Tegan are involved in school activities tonight, and were not able to be here. So Brody is here to be recognized not only for his work, but also his entire group's work that they did to complete their project, and also complete and garner the most votes online through school and community responses. Please help me to recognize Brody, who's here, along with his other challenge teammates of Tegan LaCroix and Brett Snoozy for the work that they did creating and winning their project design. And I would open the mic that if you have any questions for Brody, you'd be able to do that. We won't show you the other 24 on there for the sake of time. What I am going to do, though, is just let Brody give you a little bit of information about the design process that we utilized in class there, and just tell you a little bit about some of the work that he's done in the class with his partners, though. So, Brody, not to put you on the spot, but you're on the spot.
So pretty much what we did is we took about 3 days of classwork to decide what we were going to do. And so what we pretty much ended up doing is at first we were going to use a battery pretty much, and we had a, what'd you call it, probably like a bar, right? And it would have, we connected some pulleys together to, so it'd hit a, whatever you call it, sorry, I'm just nervous, but pretty much what we did is we'd have it hit a golf ball, it'd go down the ramp, hit some marbles, and then we tried to line up this marble precisely that we'd go into a tube, into a 90-degree angle. The tube would then force it to go into a hole for, like, if you had like a computer there under the desk or something like that. And then it would go down, trigger the wall we had with a car that had a needle on it, and then it would go down and hit the balloon.
Awesome. Thank you for coming and share your project with us.
No problem.
And a quick shout out too to our technology integrationalists as well who helped us out with this, and that's one of the things we want to keep on trying to do is find ways to keep publicizing some of the work we're doing in our classroom, so it's not just limited to what's happening within our four walls, and we're thankful that they were able to help us out with that as well. So thank you also.
Thank you. Next we'll have Mr. Lucas and Mr. Klimish.
Mr. Lucas and myself, we too have some good news to share with one of our special education students at Stewart Elementary. Emily, a fourth grade deaf student, She does a wonderful job at Stewart Elementary and been deaf since birth. And she received national recognition just last week for a video that she did, which is it's a tutorial video on how to fingerspell and using sign language. And it is currently running on the American Society for Deaf Children website, and it's pretty cool. So I'll let Mr. Lucas kind of explain how it came to be.
All right, so it kind of came about. Our deaf educator that we work with for the School for the Deaf brought to us. She said the American Society for Deaf Children, they usually raise donations for sign language and that, but this year they decided to do videos to share with kids, families, parents, everything to help try and teach more ASL to students. So we actually, Emily presented a video for numbers, 1 to 10, alphabet A to Z, colors, and then thank yous. And actually her video got picked for the thank you and also for the ABCs. So I have both of them that we'll show here. Which one? Let's go to the thank you one first. Yep, the very first one, she's at the very end of the video here. So she was the very last one there. The next one is a little bit longer, and this one is alphabet A to Z, and she is right away at the beginning of this one. So.
I made you Mobius, by the way. Are you taking me somewhere to kill me? No, that's where you just were. I'm taking you someplace to talk. I don't like to talk, but you do like to lie. But you just do. Because we both know you love to talk. Talky. How long have you been here? It's hard to say. You know, time passes differently here in TVA. What does that mean? You'll catch up. So you're part of TVA's courageous and dedicated workforce. Yes. You're created by the timekeepers. Yep. To protect the sacred timeline. Correct. Is that funny? The idea that your little club decides the fate of trillions of people across all of existence at the behest of 3 space lizards. Yes, it's funny. It's absurd. Well, you didn't like to talk.
Being a nurse and a
All right, so they'll have other videos that they'll start sharing with us too, but those were 2 that she got selected for right away. So we wanted to share those with everyone to see her learning her sign language since she started at Stewart School.
Thank you very much.
And if Emily's watching tonight, or we will show her the video of the board meeting tomorrow, let's give her a deaf clap right now up at the camera. That's for Emily. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have legislative preview. Mr. Mike Stevens is here.
Well, I was going to say, I just agree with what everybody else said, but I guess I'm everybody else. I will say that I was very lonesome as I sat over at the administration building wondering when all you guys were going to show up. But as you know, the governor has presented her budget, and I think we have to realize right away that that's her proposal, and it ain't over till it's over. And really, I think we'll have a better idea of where all the dollars are going to come into play, you know, closer to March. I mean, it's certainly, the 7 years, this will be my 8th year in the legislature, you know, the numbers that we're talking about are unprecedented. I mean, you've all been on here long enough, and did you ever think you'd see the word 6% anywhere? And so, but I will warn you, as I think we have to do it anytime we have a budget, you know, that's her idea. And there's always those people in the woods that may think that that's too much. And so we have to be cognizant of that and be on the warning track the whole time, I think, to make sure that that, really doesn't happen. This is a 38-day legislative session, actually 37 days that we're in action, and the 38th day is reserved for the vetoes. And that's that's not very much time when you look at the total amount of dollars that we're going to be dealing with, as well as some of the, large issues such as the marijuana and all kinds of things, social issues that come up during that period of time. And so we'll be very, very busy during that time. We try to keep up to date with Dr. Kendall, and I think it's very important for you to continue to send us emails. It's very, very important. And I will say to the public in general, the ones that are most meaningful to me obviously start with the word Yankton. But the other thing is I really don't look at those that are these form letters where all you're doing is filling your name in and you're sending something out to me. It's a waste of your time, and quite frankly, I don't look at them. And so it's important for you to express how that impacts our school, administration, and those type of things, because when I'm talking with other legislators, I want to be able to give specific examples of how that impacts us. And so there's never a dumb question, where it's at. You send us that, and I think all of our legislators have been really good about responding. There's anywhere from 550 to 600 plus bills that come through. Of course, not all of them are education related, but some of them, even though they're not education related, may also impact our school system. And certainly the marijuana legislation that I suspect that will be coming will be something that we'll want to look at very carefully. But I do really appreciate your emails. I hope I've answered all of them when you have sent them to me. And so really at this point, for us to, the first 6 years that I was on the school board, or not school board, but I was in the legislature, you're scrimping and saving, trying to get $1 here and $1 there, and then all of a sudden we have this large influx of money. And unfortunately, a lot of it has strings attached to it. And there's just so much that, trying to figure out the best way to use it is going to be a real challenge. So you don't have to limit your comments just to those education issues too. So it's very important to do that. But do contact us. You have our email. It's hard sometimes with the phone for us to catch up with you. But if you do leave your phone number, we will try to get back to you and answer all the questions that you might have. And if you hear something that that we're not aware of, we'd really appreciate knowing that in advance as well. So, anybody having specific questions?
At this point, do you already start to see some inquiries or suggested bills that folks are going to start putting through?
They've already started filing the bills, and if you go to, one of the things that I think it's real important for people to be aware of, if the Legislative Research Council has a website that's just off the chart, and you can literally watch as it's happening, the hearings, committee hearings, as well as on the floor. It has a list of every bill, and it's the contents of the bill. It'll also show you any amendments. It shows you how every legislator has voted. They keep those so that even if you have missed the live action, so to speak, you can go back and listen to it again, and that's really helpful. And so it's a great site for you to plug into. It shows you where every legislator, what committee that they're assigned to. It tells you 3 days in advance what bills are going to be heard, so that you're aware of that. And one of the things that, there's always good and bad in anything that happens. One of the things that COVID, the good thing in some sense that has resulted from COVID is that the Capitol now is really all set up where they can do a lot of Zoom testimony. And so it used to be if you wanted to testify, you had to run all the way out to Pier, and if they decided to postpone the bill that day, you drove all the way back and wasn't able to participate. Now with the chairman's consent, you can tell them in advance, I'd like to testify, and be put on the list right from your home to do that. And I will tell you that I think that that's the second best way to do it. Obviously, the first best way to do it is to personally appear, and And the reason for that, at least from my opinion, is this, is you get to talk to the legislators before and after the committee meeting. Because you know, the committee meeting only lasts for 2 hours. And we may have 4 or 5 bills, and you figured the 4 or 5 bills into a 2-hour period of time. You're not going to get a lot of people to be able to testify in that regard. And so it's very important that Dr. Kindle comes up to Pier. I think his presence is necessary from a board standpoint. So I will say when he's been up there, I've seen him working. I've seen some of the others maybe not spending the time that he does, but I think it's really important to have that personal contact because, you know, when something needs to be done, if you haven't already built a relationship, you know, with the legislators, it's too late. If that's your first day up there, it's just too late. And so having that contact and having him be a part of it, I think is very, very important.
Mike, it seems like the social studies curriculum has become intertwined with politics. And it's a concern to me because I, you know, was a minor in that area and also know the exact nature of the curriculum in our school system. Do you have any comments regarding that?
Well, I've always believed that you know, the best education we get is those is determined by our school board. You know, we have a better idea of what's going on with that. And, you know, to me, history is history. It's not politics, it's history. And so I'm real comfortable with what you are proposing. And you know, when I sat on the school board, I remembered, you know, you go through all the work that you've done to look through all those books, right, and make a recommendation to the public. And then oftentimes the public doesn't come and look at the books until after the fact or until they've heard somebody on social media start questioning what's in it without actually having to read it. And so I feel real comfortable with the, you know, the tremendous amount of work that our staff does and that you guys do in order to prepare and provide the best educational material out there. So I like it a lot better when it's here as opposed to out there. That's how I would vote.
Mike, I had a quick question. Do you know, do we have any local legislators on the education committee?
I'm the only one on the education committee that's local. And I take that back. I think Representative Davis is, or Reinheld. I can't remember one of those two are. Otherwise, you know, there are Sioux Falls, Rapid City, Pier, that type of stuff. So I think my recollection isn't, and I'm probably wrong on that, but I think I'm the local guy. Yeah. I think Representative Schwach is on local government and judiciary, and I'm on vice chairman of judiciary and education.
Does anyone else have any questions? Thank you for coming to speak with us, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for representing Yankton.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Next, we have the Safe Return to School Plan.
Hello, I am going to go through the Safe Return to School Plan and highlight a section. Jason located the Safe Return to School plans on the district website under the news section, and it's live there all the time. So I introduced the Safe Return to School plan at the August school board meeting, and so far our plan has had some minor tweaks to clarify language, but otherwise it's been working really well for our district. So on section 4, I'm going to highlight the mental wellness pieces that are located in the Safe Return to School plan. Section 4 outlines support for our students, families, and staff by the YSD counselors, as well as mental health services. So first, section 4.1 and 4.2 describe how our counselors are supporting our students, staff, and families on an ongoing basis. And then section 3 describes the 605 Strong program. So 605 Strong was created by a partnership of the South Dakota Department of Social Services, Department of Health, Lutheran Social Services of South Dakota, and 211 Helpline Center. 605 Strong is a free resource offering listening and support to school district employees, children, and families to help relieve the stress and anxiety caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. So on their website, there is a video that I'm going to have Jason play, and it just kind of goes through the program quickly.
No matter who you are, your life has been impacted by COVID-19. If you're struggling with difficult situations and emotions, 605 Strong is a program specifically dedicated to people dealing with challenges of the pandemic. Our goal is to provide healthy support and resources, lifting up the 605 for a stronger, brighter future. If you need help, call 211. We're 605 Strong, and we're here to help.
So the website has a plethora of resources to support the school district employees, families, and children, so I'd encourage you to look through that. At the bottom of the Safe Return to School Plan on Section 4 are links to the American School Counselor Association, that 605 Strong website, as well as a curated list of resources that the YSD counselors put together for our staff. I would encourage all students, families, and staff to utilize these resources and contact any of our school counselors if you have any questions. Also, if you have questions or comments about the Safe Return to School Plan, you can always contact your building principal. Any questions?
I do. In light of the recent, not recent so much, unfortunately, but there seems to be shootings in schools, seems to be a thing that's happened in all too often common ways. And I'm wondering, this is not related to this plan, but is there a crisis plan that we've developed in case of some kind of tragedy that might happen, be it a shooting or a bus accident or a major car accident?
Yep, we have a district plan that we review as administrators and with our staff every year.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm going to jump back up to legislative preview. Representative Schwak's here, and I'd like to give an opportunity to speak.
Hi, thanks for having me. Mike said I was late. I was really proud. I actually thought I was early, and usually when I'm on time, that's like a heroic feat for me. But yeah, legislative preview. I don't know what Gene and Mike said about it. I'm sure you guys saw the budget, which is looking, it's probably one of the better education budgets I think I've seen in my time here with the 6% proposal. And so that's a good place to start and a good place to, usually we're fighting for ones or twos, and here we're looking at 6%. Other than that, I suspect we'll have a lot more of the same type of kind of social legislation that is dealing with schools, transgendered legislation I suspect we'll have. And again, I think all of our delegation has felt very comfortable with the way local school districts handle that issue, and think that's where it should be handled. And then I saw the governor had a bill today about school prayer as well that I haven't had a chance to look at. So I suspect, and my hope is that from a money point of view here, with the influx of federal dollars coming in, that we could actually be in a pretty good place for education. I think we're still going to have a lot of those kind of social issues crop up a lot, dealing with kids and how school districts create policies and interact with their students. And I don't know the fate of those, but that's kind of what I see. Other than that, is there anything I should know from you when we're going up the pier? Any message I should be taking up there?
No, I will just reiterate that we met with Representative Schwak and Stevens just to have a few conversations, and I just want to thank you again, same with Mr. Stevens, that you guys are always very receptive when we reach out and just having open dialogue and conversations. and even reaching out to Dr. Kindle and asking, how will this affect Yankton, or, you know, provide me with data or information on that. So, so I appreciate having that meeting and having you here tonight as well, so.
Yeah, thank you, and likewise, I know you guys make us look good in Pierre when it comes to Yankton and education, so keep up the great work, and Dr. Kendall does a fantastic job of keeping us informed about your guys' position on various items, so thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for representing Yankton. Next, we'll move on to high school student trips. Ms. Swenish.
Good evening. I have submitted a proposal for our senior students this year to attend or partake in a senior trip to Branson, Missouri. We're looking at beginning our trek March 31st through April 3rd. And it's going to give them, the kids, an opportunity to, number one, celebrate their experiences that they've had within music education, within the band program especially, as well as give them opportunities to see and witness firsthand how to keep music a part of their lives once they walk out of the doors here at YHS, and how they can be a supportive entity to help continue music within wherever community that they get established in. There's different performance opportunities, there's different production opportunities that these kids are getting to see, so hopefully it's something that's gonna be a little seed that will give the kids like, hey, you know, I've never gone to a Broadway production before. This is gonna be a neat opportunity to see. I never thought I'd like it. Never thought I'd ever attend one of these ever before. We've had so many kids in the past that have had that experience with prior events that we've attended, and they've walked away and they're like, well, I wouldn't ever have a problem going back to something like that again. That was really, really neat. That was really theatrical. There was a lot more to that production than I was expecting. There's a lot more music to that than what I was expecting. So just something to celebrate their journey with us here at YHS in the last 4 years, as well as something to say, hey, keep pushing, keep being a supportive entity for music education, keep being a supportive entity for the fine arts programs and wherever you guys get to. So, any questions you have for me on the proposal?
Typically, is it just a senior trip, or is this something new?
This is something new. This crew of seniors, they haven't gotten an opportunity to go anywhere. I mean, what we've done in years past, it's been a big trip to someplace 1 year, and then 2 years later they'll go to Chicago after that. Because of COVID hitting, that took out the huge trip that they were all supposed to be on to go to New York City. And with the timing of things right now, they haven't gotten this final trip yet of another destination for them to go and see. So that's why we're like, okay, first off, we're going to start with our seniors, give them something to look forward to, give them something as like, hey, let's celebrate where we've come from, what we've done, what we've learned, and see it taken to a whole nother level with the different performances that we're going to see. And then we'll worry about the next venture for the younger kids in the years coming. And we'll hopefully get back to the same system that we were on before. The 2 years go here, the next 2 years go someplace different, give them a different experience.
I appreciate you getting creative with the situation and still managing to give this exposure and opportunity.
Yeah, we wanted to do, I mean, these seniors are a great group of leaders in our ensemble. I mean, it's nice hearing their input. It's nice hearing of like, oh my gosh, hey, we gotta try to do this. Hey, how about we have this section do this? So, I mean, there's already a lot of growth that's happening with this group of kids, just as they've stepped into that senior leadership role. And to see, you know, their viewpoint on, hey, let's go do something together. Let's do something as a group. Let's have an experience here, because we haven't gotten to have one yet. So it's a neat reaction coming from the kids themselves also.
So is there a travel group that's helping you line up some of the places, or
Yes.
are you guys just on your own?
Daryl Olmanson, we've worked with him in years past when Mr. Carr was in charge of lining up the trips, and he's done a great job. He comes along with us and is there right along with us for the whole entire adventure. So if we do run into some concerns or something, there's at least somebody who, hey, I have a contract here that says we're doing this, or I have the hotel booked for this dollar amount. So it alleviates a lot of the stressors that we would have to be managing and fielding on our own if we were taking a crew of kids like this to a destination. So it's very, very nice working with him. He does a great job, and his prices are really, really affordable, giving us a good quality trip for a realistic dollar amount.
And tell me that name again, I'm sorry.
Daryl Omenson of Omenson Tour and Travel.
Okay, thank you.
This is an action item, so I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the senior band trip as presented by Mrs. Wenish.
We have a motion and a second. Do you have any discussion? Roll call, Jason?
Kiefer,
Yes.
Sarda,
Yes.
Greenaway,
Yes.
Crandall,
Yes.
Sternquist.
Yes. Thank you for coming to speak with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Next, we have Miss Larson speaking about the high school chorus trip.
Hello. So I am here to present a trip as well. Mine with the choir would look a little different. It would be a day trip, not overnight, just down to Omaha to see Wicked, the musical, with the a cappella choir, who is made up of largely seniors. And we'd have supper and then head home. So my trip looks a little different because of COVID, we also have not done trips for a while. And we had been on a rotation with band, but like the seniors in band, these current seniors of mine have not gone on a trip. So in order to get us back into our rotation, band and choir of trips, this is something that Gwen and I have come up with, that this year I'll take a cappella. Next year, the choir won't take a trip. Band will get back onto their rotation. It'll fall back in nicely. So we're going to do a day trip, and the kids seem really excited about it, getting to see Wicked, the musical, and celebrate this great year. Questions?
This is an action item, so I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the high school chorus trip as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Jason?
Sarda,
Yes.
Kiefer,
Yes.
Greenaway,
Yes.
Crandall, Sternquist.
Yes. Thank you for organizing. Next, we have the YHS course catalog. Mr. Duracek.
Good evening again. Tonight I bring forward to you our recommendation for the 2022-2023 YHS course catalog. I have to give a little shout out to our department leadership team, our teachers and our counselors who have worked extremely hard on this document. What we've done here, there's not a lot of changes in it. The only things that we have done is we have added our course codes into this document, which is going to help us out with some transcripts, and we're working with the Infinite Campus and having everything aligned. Everything always was aligned. Now it's just documented in this course catalog as well. The other changes that you're going to see is the English Language Arts curriculum proposals and alignments that we're going to be implementing in the 2022-2023 school year. So some of those things have changed a little bit as well. But that's really the biggest changes in our course catalog. Our plan will be is we're going to be going around our counselors to our 8th graders at the middle school and at Sacred Heart. We'll be going through the course catalog and freshman courses to do that. We're going to actually start that this week with some question and answering. And our goal is to get kids registered at the high school, in that February time frame, so that we have that for the upcoming school year. So tonight, that is the course catalog that I bring forward, and it's my recommendation to move forward with that. I'll take any questions.
This is an action item. I'll entertain a motion.
Can't believe we're already talking about registration for next school year, but I will make a motion to approve the 2022-2023 Yankton High School course catalog as presented.
Second.
Do you have any discussion? Seeing none, we'll roll call, Jason.
Kiefer,
Yes.
Greenaway,
Yes.
Sarda?
Yes.
Crandall?
Yes.
Sternquist?
Yes. Next item is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.